both of you have it.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Hey, Travis. Doing well, thank you. Hey.
First, I wanted to get this. I know she got it from the neighbor. She said it was several lawsuits that she wanted you to have.
Sure.
I got nothing.
I'm not gonna be in the office until Thursday. You just put it in my box.
Did that work? I got a chance to check what you sent me, but I appreciate that.
All right, no problem.
It wouldn't let me in. Well, it was definitely the username, apparently, because it keeps sending me new passwords. But it wouldn't accept the RSG and that was the password.
Ah, okay.
You change the username and I'll check it anymore.
Okay. Tomorrow.
Oh, okay, good.
Thank you. Hey, how you doing? Good. I'm good. Doing all right? Doing all right?
I'm doing really good.
Good, good,
If I
good.
looked as good as you look, I'd be doing a whole lot better.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll tell you what, how did we get such pretty ladies working for the city? I guess lucky is the right word.
I wouldn't have seen it here had it not been.
Okay.
If Mr. Seth would sit down, we can get started.
He didn't hear me.
I know we don't want to. We're gonna start. Okay. I know. We'll call to order the City of Douglasville City Council regular meeting for tonight, which is October the 19th. Our invocation will be done by Pastor Darius Elder, small groups pastor of Chapel Hill Church. And then after that, the Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand for the invocation.
Let us pray. God of justice and mercy, thank you for your many abundant blessings. Thank you for the gift of life, for the measure of health we need to fulfill our callings, for sustenance, and for relationships. Thank you for the ability to be involved in a useful work such as this, for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities and the opportunity to serve the people of our city. We ask that you would grant our mayor, the various levels of city officials, and this assembled council the wisdom to govern amid the challenges and issues of these times. Grant them a sense of the welfare and true needs of our people. Grant them, O God, a thirst for justice and righteousness and the confidence of what is good and fitting. Endow them the ability to work together in harmony, even when there is honest disagreement. Award each of them tonight personal peace in their lives and joy in their task. We pray for the agenda set before them tonight. Give them an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around the great city of Douglasville. It's in the blessed name we pray. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, for leading us in the pledge, and Pastor Elder, we appreciate your invocation as well. That was really nice. So I'd like to welcome you to the City of Douglasville's regular voting meeting. This is a City Council regular meeting of agenda items where official action will be taken tonight on the items that were discussed at our legislative work session last Thursday. If the business you're here for is not listed as an agenda item, there will be ample time under the agenda item, comments from citizens and delegates, for you to make your comments. I'd like to go over just a few protocol issues, and then we'll get right into our meeting. I'd like to welcome you again. This meeting is being taped. It is a meeting that's being conducted in whole or in part by teleconference. Our elected officials are here. Some individuals that may want to speak but are not in person can certainly do that via Zoom software. This open meeting of the Douglasville Mayor and Council being conducted by teleconference, consistent with the official code of Georgia, annotated section 50-14-1G, due to emergency conditions involving public safety, in order to mitigate the transmission of the coronavirus and to reduce the risk of COVID-19. That section, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows local governments to meet in whole or in part by teleconference in the event of an emergency, so long as means are afforded for the public to have simultaneous access to the teleconference meeting. For this meeting, we are convening partially by Zoom software as shown on the city's website, describing how the public may join, which is via YouTube media platform. So we'll go over, that's how we're going to have our meeting. That's still under the governor's order that is now extended to November the 9th. So we'll ask that you will come to the podium if you are here and you'd like to make a comment on any of the agenda items that will be presented by the committee chairperson. Well, that person who's representing that agenda item will come forward, give your name and address for the record. Myself and council members will possibly ask clarifying questions that we did not have an opportunity to ask on last Thursday. The committee chairperson will ask for comments or statements from the audience. There's a maximum of 20 minutes per folks that are in favor of the item and 20 for those in opposition. Each person has 5 minutes to speak. When you come forward, please give your name and address for the record. Prior to approaching the podium, you should have filled out a card and handed that card into the assistant of the city manager. I think that's the person back there, Miss Vicky. And you give your name and address for the record. Those speaking, if we have someone that's speaking on a teleconference, you can give your name and address when you are allowed to talk. Each person has one opportunity to speak. This is not a question and answer format. It's just here for us to receive the information and to move on. This regular meeting is a voting meeting, so it'll go a little differently than it was for this past Thursday. It'll go a little bit quicker because we'll ask for a vote after the item is presented. Only one person speaking at a time, please. Please do not disrupt the meeting. And lastly, if you have a telephone or cell phone or any kind of electronic device, we ask that you'll put those and power those off or put them in silent mode so they won't be disruptive during the meeting. Okay. So now we'll go on with the agenda. There are agendas printed on the outside on the table, or you can follow along on the screen. So we do not have any announcements or presentations, and now we'll go to the minutes for approval. I have the minutes of the legislative work session of October the 1st, 2020, and the regular meeting of October 5th, 2020. I open the floor for a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you so much, Councilman Adams. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much. I don't know if that was Mayor Pro Tem or Councilman Davis, but it's been properly moved in second to approve the minutes as presented for the legislative work session of October 1st and October 5th, 2020. Do I see or have any corrections or comments from council members? Thank you. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. No nays. All the ayes have it, so the minutes are approved. Now I will open the floor. See if we can get technology to catch up with us. To approve the consent agenda as presented. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you so much, Councilman Adams. I have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Thank you so much. Councilman Davis has been properly moved in second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Do we have any further discussion as relates to this item? Any comments or questions or any further deliberation from the council? Thank you. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The consent agenda is approved as presented. We are now at number 7, which is Economic Development Committee, and that's chaired by Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business at this time under the Economic Development Committee.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. We'll move on to Finance Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have 2 items tonight under Finance. A is to authorize the mayor to sign a construction contract with Albion Scacia Enterprises, LLC, for design and construction of the 8578 Club Drive renovation project. Mr. Thompson spoke with us on Thursday and went over the bids, and he's here tonight to answer any additional questions, if there may be any. Is there anyone? Mr. Thompson, do you have any new information to provide us with concerning the bid or anything to do with this issue?
No, sir.
Thank you. No questions? Seeing none, then I'll make a motion that we approve item 20-483.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 20-483. Do we have any additional comments, any questions or concerns as it relates to this item?
Madam Mayor, in very short order, if we could ask Mr. Thompson, just for clarity and for those that may be watching online, can you give us just a general idea of what the property will be used for when it is renovated? If this is not a fair question for you, Mr. Thompson, maybe we could have someone else, some other staff member, tackle that.
I don't mind. Marcus Thompson, 6701 Church Street. So the facilities will be used, we will transition the Parks and Rec departments into the facilities after everything is renovated.
This will be the Parks and Rec Department as far as their maintenance
That is
building
correct. Yeah.
for all the Parks and Rec employees, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that that was spelled out. Thank you very much. And that's all that I have, Madam Mayor.
Mr. Chairman, I did want to elaborate on your question for explanation. I did talk with City Manager today about the filling station area, and I was wondering if we were going to close it down or not. And she said no, that area still will be used by Parks and Recs because they do have that need as well as our Maintenance and Sanitation Department did as well. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. It's been properly moved in second. Any other discussion as relates to this item from council members? Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 20-483 is unanimously approved.
Item B, authorize the mayor to sign an agreement with the Erosion Company, LLC, for soil erosion abatement at the Town Green Work Site. Mr. Thompson, anything other than what we discussed on Thursday?
An additional to add.
Okay. Questions, comments of council? Any further discussion? Any public comment? Seeing none, I make a motion that we approve item 20-522.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-522. Do we have any further discussion or any comments as relates to this item from council members? Thank you. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 20-522 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's all we have tonight under finance.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. We'll move on to item 9, which is Housing and Community Affairs Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There's no business tonight.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
We move on to Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
No business at this time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Councilman Davis. Personnel and Organization Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight in Personnel and Organization.
Thank you, sir. I will move on then to item number 12, which is a lot. We'll have them take a breath. And that is Planning and Development Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
You're correct. We do have several items tonight under planning and development. So
Yes, sir.
we will start with item A, hold a public hearing and consider a request for a change in zoning from RA Residential Agricultural County to R2 Single Family Residential Detached District City for 1.041 acres at 1713 Blair Bridge Road, found in land lot 672, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 4. Application by Republic Property Company Incorporated. Ms. Patrice Williams had assisted us with that. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. I don't have anything new to add, but we do have the applicant here with us tonight, Mr. Jerry Dawes, if you do have any additional questions for them.
Madam Mayor, Council, any public comment? This being a public hearing, we need to give opportunity to anyone wanting to speak with new information for or against. Do we have anyone? I think you have been given a very complete explanation on Thursday night during that hearing as to why this needed to be changed. So seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. If there's no other comment, I'll make a motion to approve item 20-396.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much. Did someone click the button? I think it was Councilman Watts. I don't see it on my screen. I know we had a second.
Yes.
Estes?
Click the button for second.
Did you
I thought
push
I
the
did.
button?
There you go.
Okay, it's been properly moved and second to approve item 20-396. Do we have any additional comments or questions as it relates to this item? Any further discussion? Thank you. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving item 20-396, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 20-396 is unanimously approved.
Item
There
B,
we go.
consider a petition to annex 1.041 acres at 1713 Blair Bridge Road in land lot 672, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 4, application by Gregory Kinsel. Ms. Williams?
Okay, Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. At this time, staff does not have any information to add. Again, we have the applicant with us if you have any further questions.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Questions? No questions? Public comment? We'll then take item 20-506 and make a motion to approve.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilman Davis. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-506. Do we have any additional comments or questions or any deliberation as far as this annexation is concerned, council members? Thank you. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 20-506 is approved.
Item C.
Mm-hmm.
Hold a public hearing and consider a request for a change in zoning from RA Residential Agricultural District County to LI Light Industrial District City for 8.164 acres at 1706 Blairs Bridge Road, land lot 672, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 3. Application by Republic Property Company Incorporated. Ms. Williams?
Okay, Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. Again, nothing new to add. We do have an applicant with us.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Any questions of the applicant? Council, Madam Mayor?
Sir.
Again, it being a public hearing, we need to give opportunity to anyone that may want to speak with new information tonight on in favor or against this application. Seeing none, then we'll close the public hearing. Make a motion to approve item 20-395.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-395. Do we have any additional comments or questions from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 20-395 is unanimously approved.
Moving on to item D.
Mm-hmm.
Consider a petition to annex 8.164 acres at 1706 Blair Bridge Road in land lot 672, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 3. Application by Carlton Wayne Forrester. Ms. Williams.
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. Again, nothing new to add. We do have the applicant with us.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Any questions or comments concerning this petition for annexation? None? Okay. Make a motion then to approve item 20-511.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much. I think it was the Mayor Pro Tem that made the second, not certain. I'll see it on my screen. But it's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-511. Do we have any additional conversation, any comments about this petition for annexation? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 20-511 is unanimously approved.
Moving on to item E.
Mm-hmm.
Hold a public hearing and consider a request for variances. One, to reduce the required 100-foot minimum side setback between an industrial property adjacent to a residential district in Section 5.04B of the Unified Development Ordinance by 12 feet for a remaining requirement of 88 feet. And two, reduce the required 50-foot undisturbed natural buffer in Section 8.02B of the Unified Development Ordinance by 10 feet for a remaining requirement of 40 feet on the east side of a lot of 8.164 acres at 1706 Blairs Bridge Road, land lot 672, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 3. Application by Republic Property Company Incorporated. Ms. Williams?
Okay, Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. Again, nothing new to add. We do have the applicant with us if you have any further questions.
Okay. Questions, comments, council? Any public comment? Anyone would like to have input in this public hearing for or against? I do have one question, but I want to make sure that we don't have anyone else that'd like to make a comment. Seeing none, then just one question, Ms. Williams, and I'm sure that this is shown on the plat. I just did not look it up. I thought it would be easier on me, and I apologize for it being any more work on anyone else. When we consider these variances to reduce the sideline, to reduce the undisturbed buffer and so forth and so on, are we still legal within the state requirements? Because I know in many cases our state requirements, we are more restrictive than our state requirements. We're staying within those. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Any other question or comment? And I apologize for not asking that on Thursday. Seeing none, make a motion to approve item 20-508.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-508. Do we have any other deliberation, any other comments, concerns about this item from council members? Thank you. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 20-508 is approved.
Moving on to item F. Consider a request for approval of a development plan for 8.164 acres at 1706 Blair Bridge Road, land lot 672, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 3 for plans dated September 6, 2020, 16th, 2020, Application by Republic Property Company Incorporated. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. I have nothing new to add. We have the applicant with us if you have any further questions.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Questions, comments concerning the development plan that has been submitted for approval? I understand in our discussion from Thursday night that all of the requirements were present. Facades were within tolerance, and it was an approvable plan. What's your pleasure, council? Madam Mayor, any questions? Seeing none, I make a motion then to approve 20-509.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes and Davis. I'm not certain who was quick draw on. I can't see the second. But it's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-509. Do we have any other comments as it relates to this item? Any further discussion? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 20-509 is approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
What was that, 6 items on one property?
Yep.
That's a lot.
Okay, moving right along.
Order of the alphabet.
Let's don't go that far.
I know.
Item G, hold a public hearing and consider a request for a change in zoning from GC General Commercial District City and RLD Low Density Single Family Residential District County to PRD Planned Residential Development District for 18.235 acres at 5011, 5029, 5049, and 5059 Reservoir Drive and Arbor Place Boulevard in Land Lot 24, District 1, Section 5, Parcel 10, 11, 74, and 76, and Land Lot 23, District 1, Section 5, Parcels 124 and 125. Application by Inline Communities, LLC. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. I don't have anything new to add at this time, but we do have the applicant with us tonight for additional questions.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Comment, questions? Yes, Madam, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not sure if this would be the item under which we discuss the stipulations that we talked about. Would it be fair to?
It is, and I have it.
Okay. So we want to make sure that the second entrance is obviously that's being submitted as part of the plan, so that's there. We want to make sure also that the fence line is addressed, and the rental ratio is also addressed in this. Do we have
I believe
information?
Mr. Chairman has that information when he
I
makes
do
his
have that
motion.
information, as had been discussed on Thursday night, and I'll be glad to share that. Are there other questions or comments before we talk about that issue? Is there any other issue? Let's see if we have any other public comment on it, and then we'll discuss that, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Again, it being a public hearing, I need to give opportunity to anyone to speak for or against with new information. If so, please come forward, give us your name and address for the record, and we'd be glad to hear from you.
My name is Cindy Welch, 3002 Concord Way, Douglasville, Georgia. I do want to thank the developer, applicant, and the council on everything that you have worked with on getting this zoned. I do like that he's putting up a 6-foot fence. He's given me a picture of it. It's wonderful. The only thing I don't like is he's still doing one-car garages for 94 units. 91 units, get a 2-car garage. Be nice if we had more 2-car garages, but okay. And the other thing is about the number of rentals, and I know Mr. Adams has brought that up, but we would like no more than 10% rentals, or at the most 15, and we'd like to have that part of the covenants. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Welch. Anyone else? New information? Anyone that would speak for or against, please come forward. Seeing none, then I will close the public hearing, and I would say that I appreciate all of your input. I appreciate all of the professionalism that has been shown between the developer and the homeowners, the community. I believe the community has spoken, and I believe the developer has done a good job. Any other comment that you had, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, since you were that is in your ward?
I would reiterate what you said. I think it's been a successful process. I think what is important is that people listen to each other instead of taking, opposing stances and strident positions that just because out of principle, people actually listen to each other and work through the differences on this project. And I think it's great. We can hold it up as a good example throughout the city on how to make things happen that satisfy people and move the city forward. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Any other? Yes, Coach Wise.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm just curious about the mechanics, which I agree with. I like the idea of a cap percentage of rentals. I just was curious. You have a development. It's run by an HOA, and there's a combination of rentals from companies that have come in and maybe bought a few townhomes and are renting them, or private owners renting their own place out. How's that enforced when all of a sudden somebody's ready to move somewhere else and they're going to rent it, and you're maybe at the cap? I just was wondering about the mechanics of that. How that
we actually have that situation currently in Arbor Station, where a substantial portion of the houses are rental units. So it's classified by property, basically property address. So the benefits within Arbor Station, for instance, mostly the pool and the tennis courts. You can use those if you're a member, if you're a dues-paying member of the HOA, and so in order to pay the dues, that's recorded by address. So if you're living in a rental property and the owner of that rental property has paid their dues, you're entitled to use the facilities. So that's basically how it works.
Well, and I guess what I was pointing to is that you have the cap. There's the 10% has been reached. There's 10% of the townhomes that are being rented, but this guy that lives down the street who's getting ready to move out of state, he's decided he's going to rent his. How does he know, and how is that enforced?
I would turn to legal from that one. That's outside my pay grade to answer that question.
And that's not. I know that's not up
Thank
to
you.
us. It's out of our hands. But I was just kind of curious.
Maybe our city attorney can answer that. I don't know.
Ms. Littlefield, can you help us?
Sure. What we proposed to the chairman is that before any building permits are issued, the developer would identify 90% of the units and record covenants that say that it can't be used for rental purposes, or maybe it can't be occupied unless there's one of the owners residing there.
Well, basically, that would be a stipulation built into the zoning. Did you all did someone else have a comment or a question? Okay. Any other? Seeing none, then we will close the public hearing. And again, I appreciate everyone's cooperation in this. So I will read this. I will make a motion that we approve item 20-481 with the following stipulation. The density is limited to 185 total units, residential units. All units which face Chapel Hill Road or Arbor Place Boulevard shall have garages with doors which face away from the named street. Prior to issuance of any building permit, the developer or owner shall identify not fewer than 176 units and record covenants in the Douglas County deed records limiting occupancy to unit owners and prohibiting use of the units for rental occupancy. Now, for those that are better in math than I am, that's 90%, which means you could have 10% rental units. That's my motion. Make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve item 20-489 with the stipulations as read by the chair, Councilmember Adams. Yes, sir.
You mentioned the fence in there as well?
The fence is not there as a special stipulation in this motion. I'm sorry.
Please look in the back at your development plan. I know that there's a picture of the fence that was offered. See if it satisfies what you're looking to do.
It's in the
My apologies, folks.
problem is that
There is a picture of identified as a 6-foot fence within this ordinance, within this ordinance number. Okay. Sorry, I did not mention that, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
I will second your motion then.
Thank you so much. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-481 with the stipulations as read by the chairman, Councilmember Adams, which is inclusive of the fence that's in the pictures. And it's been seconded. Did we get a second? Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller. So it's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-481 with the stipulations that were read into the record. Do we have any additional comments?
Madam Mayor, I believe
Yes,
the
sir.
applicant's representative would like to say something.
Yes, sir.
Joe
Mr.
Fowler,
Fowler.
Postbox 49, Douglas Hill, and I'm here, of course, with Mr. Mufoff. If I did the math correctly, you said 10% of the units, and that's 185, that's 18 and a half units, and I'm not sure that 176 is right math.
Like I said, Mr. Fowler, I didn't do the math.
I know
so
you
let me
graduated from
let me
Douglas
look
County
and
High
correct
School,
us
just
if we
like
need
I
to.
did, Mr. Adams.
I'm sorry. Where's Mr. Siegel when we need him?
I know it. Let me see.
Probably listening.
I was going to say,
Probably
he might text us.
166 rather than 176, but
Would be 166 and a half, or 167. My apologies. Do I need to modify that motion, Ms. Littlefield?
I'll withdraw my second in order for you to withdraw your.
And Mr. Adams, may I have one other comment about this? It's appropriate. Deed restricting by saying that we're going to have these in this particular location by deed be rental only may be difficult. Brian can talk more about that specifically in a moment, but it may be difficult to say in advance this is going to be rental. If you can cap it at 167 and let us choose, and then no more after that, that may be helpful. I recognize, as was mentioned a moment ago, the working out of this could be difficult. Mr. Mossoff may be able to explain further.
Thank you, Mr. Fowler. Ms. Littlefield, and then we'll get right to you, sir.
I'm glad you got the number right, but the 10% of the units are not rental only. They can be rental or owner occupied according to that step.
And this does not identify them as a specific street number or location. Just within that development, there can be no more than 10% at any one time, correct? I believe that was
That's the
the
spirit of
idea.
it.
That was the intent.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Sure. So I will withdraw my motion.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
correct, Ms. Littlefield? And then I will make a motion on item 20-481 to approve with the following stipulation. Density is limited to 185 residential units. All units which face Chapel Hill Road or Arbor Place Boulevard shall have garages with doors which face away from the named street. Prior to issuance of any building permit, the developer owner shall identify not fewer than 167 units and record covenants in the Douglas County deed records limiting occupancy to unit owners and prohibiting use of units for rental occupancy. And that does include the 6-foot fence, as we had discussed. That's my motion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. We have a motion to approve item 20-481 with the stipulations as read by the chair that are inclusive of garages, 10% rental, fencing, and all those special concerns or concessions that the chairman has read. So I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. So it's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-481 with the stipulations as read by the chair and second by Mayor Pro Tem. Do we have any other comments or questions or any concerns as it relates to this item from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 20-481 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And again, we appreciate the developer and the
Yes, sir.
homeowners and the community working together on that.
Mhm.
And we wish you the best. We will move on then to item H. Consider a petition to annex 15.593 acres at 5011, 5029, 5049, and 5059 Reservoir Drive in Land Lot 24, District 1, Section 5, parcels 10, 11, 74, and 76. Application by Joanne A. Wood and Clayton Preston of Reservoir Holdings, LLC. Ms. Williams?
Therese Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. Again, this item simply annexes those county parcels into the city.
Thank you, ma'am. Any question or comment? Any further discussion needed by council or Madam Mayor? Seeing none, I make a motion to approve item 20-518.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve item 20-518. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. I think I had unanimous dueling seconds from Mayor Pro Tem and Councilmember Davis. So it's been properly moved in second to approve this item. Do we have any further discussion as it relates to this annexation from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving item 20-518, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 20-518 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
We'll move on then to item I. Consider a request for final plat approval for inline communities for the purpose of lot consolidation of 6 tracts for 18.2 acres at 5011, 5029, 5049, and 5059 Reservoir Drive, and on Arbor Place Boulevard, Land Lot 24, District 1, Section 5, Parcel 10, 11, 74, and 76, and Land Lot 23, District 1, Section 5, Parcels 124 and 125. Application by Inline Communities, LLC. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. Again, this item simply allows us to do the setbacks correctly. So we want to do the final plat to do the setbacks.
Question, comment? Anyone?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Madam Mayor.
And this is just about the development in whole. I know there were the last 3 items, inclusive of this one, is for Reservoir Drive. I want to again reiterate what council members have said. Thank you to the developer and the citizens for coming together. I know it's in Mayor Pro Tem's ward, but we're on different pieces of the pie. We may live in different areas, so we're all in the city, and what's good for one area is good for the other. So we appreciate you being amenable, come let us reason together, and we thank you so much for doing that and having public meetings and all of that. I know it was a lot of your time, so thank you so much. We welcome you to the community. We're very happy that you've chosen to stay with us and build in the area. Thank you, Mr.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Chairman.
Any other council? I noticed someone's hand go up in the audience, and I want to make sure that we get all of the public comments out. Come forward. Make sure that there's no misunderstanding.
Cindy Welch, 3002 Concord Way, Douglasville, Georgia. At the time of the rezoning, you were stating about the 10% that could be rentals, but there was something said when they got building permits that they would be, that doesn't even make sense to me.
We're asking that that be done prior to any building permits being issued. Is that correct, Ms. Littlefield?
Yes.
But what if they do lot number 184 and that person may rent it and then decide that they want to buy that home? I mean, I would think that the rentals would be determined when somebody buys the property or rents the property, not at the point that the building permits are issued.
Maybe we're talking about the same thing in a different way, Ms. Welch. What I took that to mean was that before we will issue any building permits to begin the building of the units, they must record those covenants with the county stating that there are rental restrictions and what percentage is the maximum that can be rented when and if those are built.
Okay, I would agree with
that was the way I understood it. Is that the way it was meant to be, legal?
Okay.
Not identifying a particular address that cannot be rented or can be, but knowing that everyone is put on notice that at that time, when you start this development and you begin to buy permits, you've already done the covenant recording.
Okay, that's what nothing was said about the covenants being recorded. I thought they were saying when they got the building permit, they had to say if that house was rental or not.
No, ma'am.
Okay, I
That
agree
is
with
not
the
it.
covenants then.
Thank you.
It's kind of like having the amenities up front, making
That's
certain
correct.
that they're done. Yes.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I think also to clarify, if the market demands it, we could have 100% homeowner. There's no upper limit on the number of homeowners.
Correct.
Owner occupied. And if it goes 100%, it goes 100%, but it can't go lower than 90 though. So just to clarify
Correct.
that.
Yes, sir. Good point. Anyone else? Have we kicked this horse enough? If there's no other discussion, then I'm going to make a motion that we approve item 20-519.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. May I have a second, please? Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 20-519. Any additional comments as it relates to this item from council members? Any further discussion? Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 20-519 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll change gears. We'll move to item J.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, we're still waiting on a vote from Councilman Watts.
Well, it disappeared off my screen.
Get his hand. I know it. Let me go back to 1875 when they was raising their hands.
While y'all are working on that, I just wanted to say thank you very much, and I've enjoyed working with y'all and look forward to bringing a very good project for your city.
Thank you,
so
sir.
thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I was going to fill the gap with a discussion on the history of housing subsidies back to ancient Mesopotamia, but I'll put that
Don't
off
do
for
it.
another time.
Very much appreciated.
Pontificating. We knew he was watching.
Thank you. All votes have been recorded.
Work?
So are we clear to go forward?
Yes, sir. All votes have been recorded. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Item J.
Yes, sir.
Hold a public hearing and consider a request for change in zoning from RA Residential Agricultural District County to OI Office Institutional City for 6.762 acres at 3441 King Drive, 2032 Riverside Parkway, 2052 Riverside Parkway, and 2070 Riverside Parkway in land lot 156, District 1, Section 5, parcel 48, 49, 50, and 51. Application by Serenity at New Manchester, LLC. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. At this time, staff has nothing new to add, but we do have the applicant with us for further questions.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Comments, questions? We've heard from the applicant on Thursday. Are there any comments or questions by council or Madam Mayor? Okay, it being a public hearing, once again, we'll state we need to give opportunity for anyone who may want to speak for or against the item to please come forward with new information, please.
Good evening, Philip Sisk, 9905 Ardwick Greenway, Douglasville, 30135. I wasn't here Thursday night, so I'm not sure that this will be new information, but first of all, I want to say that we all appreciated Mr. Allen presenting the information to us so we could see it firsthand what it was going to be. And of course, I believe at my age that this is something needed in the community. Because I would like to stay here in future years. And this is so in keeping with the vision that we all had for Riverside Parkway. The design of it is very attractive, and it'll be in keeping with not only Tributary, but the other developments along Riverside Parkway as well. We believe it'd be a great addition. And I cannot speak for our whole community, but I can tell you from everyone I've talked to that we certainly support this change. And thank you for your time. I know it's a tough job. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Sisk. Anyone else who would like to speak for or against this item? Seeing none, then we will close the public hearing. Any other question or comment of council? Seeing none, I will make a motion then to approve item 20-398.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. It's been properly made a motion to approve and second to approve item 20-398. Any additional comments from council members? Further discussion? Probably moved in second. Did you push the thing? Any other? I thought I saw a hand. No. Okay, all those in favor of approving, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 20-398 is unanimously approved.
Move on to item K. Consider a petition to annex 6.762 acres at 3441 King Drive, 2032 Riverside Parkway, 2052 Riverside Parkway, and 2070 Riverside Parkway in land lot 156, District 1, Section 5, parcels 48, 49, 50, and 51. Application again by Serenity at New Manchester, LLC. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. At this time, we have no further information. Again, the applicant is with us for further questions.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Questions, comments concerning this annexation request? Yes, Madam Mayor.
The only, not about the annexation, but the property, again, the whole project. We appreciate Mr. Allen working with the community. Again, it really speaks to how much interaction that we have with the community and developers. The citizens are very concerned, and we're happy that people take interest in their community and how it grows. So thank you, Mr. Sisk, for representing the Tributary area, and Council Member Estes and everyone. So we appreciate you working with the community as well and coming with this memory care place. It looks like it's going to be a great project. So I just wanted to thank you for your time. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am. Any others? Then seeing no other comment or question presented, I'll make a motion to approve item 20-523.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-523. Any further discussion as relates to this item from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 20-523 is unanimously approved.
Item L. Hold a public hearing and consider a request for change in zoning from CHC Commercial Heavy Conditions in the County to LI Light Industrial City for 15.875 acres at 2084 Skyview Drive, land lot 521, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 3. Application by Oakmont Acquisitions, LLC. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. At this time, I have no further information or new information to offer. However, we do have the applicant with us tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Questions from council or Madam Mayor of the applicant, or any comment? Any new information that anyone would like to provide as far as comments for or against? Seeing none, then we'll close the public hearing. I make a motion to approve item 20-469.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve 20-469. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Thank you so much. Thank Councilman Davis or Councilman Watts. But it's been properly moved and second to approve 20-469. Do we have any additional comments or questions as it relates to this item from council members? Thank you. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving 20-469, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 20-469 is unanimously approved.
Item M. Consider a petition to annex 15.875 acres at 2084 Skyview Drive, land lot 521, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 3. Application by Thornton Way Auto Land. Ms. Patrice Williams.
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. Again, at this time, we have no new information to offer. However, we do have the applicant with us.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Questions, council, Madam Mayor, concerning this annexation application? Everybody's gotten quiet all of a sudden. Guess you're ready for me to be finished, okay? Item 20-505, make a motion to approve.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilman Davis. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 20-505. We did receive the information from the county as in regards to this annexation without any opposition. So, having said that, we have any additional comments or questions as it relates to this item? Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving item 20-505, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 20-505 is unanimously approved.
And last but not least, item N. Hold a public hearing and consider a request for change in zoning from GC General Commercial District to LI Light Industrial District in the Quality Growth Development Overlay for 9.44 acres located on Blairs Bridge Road in land lot 581, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 2, and land lot 616, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 1. Application by Native Development Group, LLC. Ms. Williams?
Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. At this time, we have no new information to offer. We do have the applicant's attorney with us if you have any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Anyone have any questions or comments? The applicant? Anyone that would like to speak for or against this application with new information, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. I'll make a motion to approve item 20-397.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 20-397. Do we have any other comments as it relates to this item from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 20-397 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's all we have tonight.
Thank you so much, Councilman Adams. You did a wonderful job. A lot of items. We'll move on to item number 13, which is Public Improvement and Beautification Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Public Relations Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No business this evening.
Thank you, sir. We'll keep moving forward with item 15, which is public safety, and that's chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
No items at this time, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Councilman Davis. Item 16 is Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have one item tonight. Appoint Denise Overfield as a post 7 member of the Douglasville Public Art Commission for a term ending July 1st, 2022. That is item 20-498. I'd like to make a motion to approve that item.
Thank you so much, Councilman Watts. Mr. Chairman, we have a motion to approve item 20-498. Do we have any comments or questions or any further discussion as relates to this item from council members? You have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. Any comments? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving 20-498, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. I know Mayor Pro Tem abstained and left the room because this is his wife, Dr. Overfield. So that's why he didn't want to be, be impartial. So we couldn't be impartial because it's his wife. But she's highly qualified. So it's been unanimously approved for all the council members in the room to appoint Dr. Denise Overfield to post 7 for the Public Arts Commission for a term ending in July 1st, 2022. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it again. 20-498 is approved. That's all you have.
Anybody having a problem? Okay. Never mind. Madam Mayor, that's all I had tonight.
Thank you so much. We will go on to Technology Committee. The Mayor Pro Tem isn't in, so Councilman Davis, would you take Technology Committee for me?
No items at this time, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Councilman Davis. We'll move on to Transportation Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The item under transportation was under the consent agenda, and there aren't any other items.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Do we have any other business to come before council members this evening from the elected body?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
A quick shout out to Greg Roberts and his maintenance crews for taking care of some deceased trees on Arbor Parkway and Arbor Station. Thank you very much for you guys getting on that fairly quickly on the request of the citizens.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's always good to give kudos, and we appreciate Mr. Roberts. We know he is a hard-working director, and so thank you so much for saying that. He's always helpful. Any other business to come before council tonight from the elected body?
If I could, Madam Mayor.
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am.
As I'm not asking for any party planners or anyone to lose sleep over this, just a little light nudge, if you will, that I know that the governor's orders will be expiring before you know it, and I would like you guys to just maybe take it all in and think about how you would like to move forward. I just feel like if we fail to plan, we plan to fail, and I know that a lot of other communities are already making plans and having events, and I just hope that when we can open up our doors back, that we have something to bring people back to, that they're still coming here, because as I talk to people, they're telling me that they're going other places, and it's sad. So
Council Member Miller, and you're talking about a reference to special events for the holidays?
I am.
Yes, ma'am. I believe the city manager, I know the city manager and I have spoken, and she's already left, Miss Williams, for community development, that we're thinking of some things that can be safe to do, especially for Christmas. I know the county is holding an event in November for Thanksgiving for turkey giveaways that they ask the city to support them with. So I'm not certain about what we'll do for I know it doesn't look like we can have our Christmas parade, but we're not 100% sure, but we will do something.
Right.
So I don't know if we're going to unveil what the something is right now because we're still working on it.
I get it, and I understand that right now we're having to take another approach to things and do it in a safe manner.
Yes,
I just
ma'am.
want to make sure that we are taking into account the months to come and what we're going to do going forward.
Yes, ma'am. City Manager, do you want to elaborate on anything?
Ms. Miller has already spoken with me, and I told her I'd asked her to get with her colleagues so you all can just decide how you want to move forward. And I would say, particularly in the spring, Jason Post, who is your director for community relations, is already working on some things to try to bring some of those events back. But of course, as she mentioned, everything would be contingent upon the governor's orders and what he chooses to do.
Yes, ma'am. And so, Councilmember Miller, I was thinking maybe for Christmas, if that we were still to, rent our Santa. I mean, I'm not going to say if Santa can come from the North Pole with his reindeers, still at the conference center, light the tree, and still do the candy, the stockings that we give out. If maybe we have a station and cars can drive down Church Street and pick up their stockings for their kids, and maybe see the lights and encourage people to decorate their homes, and maybe have a drive through like Callaway Gardens to see lights, and press on Mr. Gregg and Miss Williams to really decorate the downtown area, which is inclusive, of East Strickland and West Strickland, all that area. So, and by the mall. So heavy on decorations, maybe drive through like it's Callaway Gardens, and have some of the ask Santa to come from the North Pole with the reindeer, light the Christmas tree, give out stockings. And we'll continue to move something in that direction. But I know we have other creative minds, so if anyone else has information or any recommendations, please talk to me and the city manager. We can talk to Ms. Williams and Mr. Roberts and make it happen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other business to come before council this evening from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. Then we'll go to updates from our city staff. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson. Thank you so much, Mr. Dotson. Chief Assistant City Attorney, Ms. Susan Littlefield.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Our chief for the police department, we have Major Davison.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you for your input this evening. Our city manager, Ms. Marsha Hampton.
No business, Madam Mayor.
What? Okay. Staff report, discussion regarding streets for consideration for the submission to GDOT, Georgia Department of Transportation, under the 2021 LMIG resurfacing program, and that's Mr. Roberts, and that's what Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Danley alluded to earlier under transportation. Mr. Roberts.
Good evening, Council.
Evening.
Greg Roberts, Director of the Public Services Department, 8485 Courthouse Square West. Citizens can email us to sanitation@douglasvillega.gov, and we just enjoy serving the city. That's what our name says. Here you have before you just a breakdown of 3 scenarios that we could do. The first 2 represent all 5 wards with at least one street. That last one does not have one for Ward 1, but that could be resolved if you like that list of streets. I will tell you that I've got to put hard numbers to these, and if that works out, I've already talked to City Manager and Ms. Callan that we do have the funds to cover these numbers here, and hopefully once I put hard numbers to them that it'll shake out a little different, and I may come back to you with a different list. For example, if you were to choose this first scenario, even though I didn't number them, it's the one at the top. If you were to tell me tonight that you want me to work on that one and come back to you with the hard numbers, once I put those hard numbers, I can tell you whether we could add a couple more streets or something. I will point out 2 things on here. On all 3 scenarios, you'll see Chapel Cove, and I got the number of 16.5 in red. That does not reflect against the bottom number of 830, because that's money that a developer, a builder, put up for that street, and he has completed those streets. So we have that money. I just want to get it done on this project. Okay. Then you'll see West Pines Golf. I would have put it up there in the red, but its numbers do need to reflect against this number. I've estimated about $5,500. So it's the area of the West Pines main entrance when you get in, when you go up the hill, that last little part of the hill right before you get to the clubhouse, over the gas line. And so my assumption is several years ago when we installed that road and that area, that the contractor we had at that time sort of soft pedaled it over the gas line. And so I've already communicated with the gas company. They will, once we're doing that project, they'll have somebody on site. And so we'll try to make a permanent repair. But if you see it, it's probably, we'll probably get another year and a half out of it if we don't fix it. So
That's the one I talked about, Mr. Gregg, with the crumbled up.
you did mention it.
Yes, sir.
When we drove over there.
Mhm.
And so I believe we can cover that here. The rest of the road's in fairly good shape. It's just this needs to be addressed, and it's bigger than our in-house crews can deal with. So from there, whatever comments or questions you have on any of these, we do have a little more time than usual, so this has to be submitted by February 1, 2021. I don't want to wait that long. I'd like to get it submitted much sooner than that. But so we have plenty of time, but you see the breakdown at the top. The program amount that GDOT has given for this project was the 312,163.98, and our match would be 93,649.20. So the minimum expenditure for that project would be 405,813, but I don't like landing so close to that number because we have to spend that much as a minimum. So anyway, I'll quit chatting and you can give me feedback on these.
Okay, so Mr. Gregg, you want us as to submit from the three options. You want us to individually tell you or come up with a consensus of? Now, I do want to ask you. I want to put you on the spot, but you said when you do a little bit here, a little bit there, in different wards, it really doesn't make a big difference. So is that what number one is? Just giving everybody a little bit?
Well, I do think it's important to try and give something in every ward. We've done a lot of paving in Ward 1 over the last few years. The SPLOST got us way ahead. And Councilmember Adams, to his credit, he mentioned, why do I have so many twos in there? That's his ward. He wasn't complaining. He just asked. And that's the older part of the city, generally speaking. And some of those streets have not been resurfaced in 20-plus years. I'll say what I've said here before. We get a lot of bang for our buck in the city of Douglasville on streets. Most cities, their roads are coming apart in 12, less than 15 years, and we've some of those I'll claim responsibility for. Those were put in the 90s. Some of those were just now resurfacing, which proves to me you put in a good road to begin with, the asphalt will last a lot longer. It might not make contractors happy every time, but the road lasts a long time for the taxpayer.
Yes, sir. So, but it's okay if we were to do number one. Is this do you have a particular?
I put this first one together. I think that's a good, it captures a lot of streets. And once I put hard numbers to it, I may come back to you and say, hey, we might need to pull a street or we might can add a couple.
Okay.
Because we, to be honest with you, and there's a secondary list that's not really to, I think I've submitted it. I know you've seen it before, but when you think about streets that are 4s and 5s, 10s being the best, 4 being the worst on the list, we have, including the streets that you see on this list, we have 94 streets that still fall in the 4s and 5 category.
Okay.
That's a lot of streets. That's a few $1 million. It's not a few $100,000. It's a few million.
Yeah. Okay.
And so there are other streets that I would like to get done over the next couple of years. But
is your priorities right now based on the AECOM and how they've given us a rating of the streets and what you can get done?
Yes.
Element. Okay. Well, I'll open it up for. So, did you want us to do individually, text you, or email you and tell you, or you want us to discuss?
I'm good either way. If anybody wants to go ride and look at them, I'm always available.
Okay. Well,
I will make myself available.
I'm voting for number one, but I'll open up the floor for council members. And Councilman Adams said something first. I'll recognize him.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Roberts. I appreciate you putting all this together for us. You've already reiterated one thing. The streets within our community in the city, then, anything that's worse than a 4, we have already addressed. Is that correct?
Yes, we got rid of most of those over the last couple of years,
Right.
but we didn't have that many that were worse than a 4 rating. We did have a couple of streets that were 3s, but they were really small streets.
Okay. So, having said that, then the balance of the money, the minimum expenditure would be $405,800, and we have to take out of general fund, I'm assuming $93,600 plus out of SPLOST, plus the difference between $730,500 or $800.
Yes.
That comes out of SPLOST. So we do have the funds there. What I was trying to get at was there's $100,000 difference in the two options. So if we're coming out of general fund, then maybe we consider the lesser because of what we're going through with COVID.
Okay.
But if we're coming out of SPLOST funds and they're already there and earmarked for us, then maybe we're not limited to that. That was my comment.
This is, if you all recall, when we had a retreat in February, you're going to leave a substantial amount of your contingency because there was not enough to do a third set of resurfacing. So this comes out of that contingency to match.
Okay, that's why you're the finance chair. I'm just ask my husband. I don't even know what. I just keep spending until he tells me don't spend. I don't know. Councilman, who else had a comment? Councilman,
thank you.
That isn't good. Councilman Estes, did you want to say anything?
No, I agree with Councilman Adams. And now that we have the financial side clarified, option 1 looks good to me as well.
Okay. Any other comment? Yes, ma'am. Transportation chair.
No, this is a new list. Yeah. Colquitt and Hollis.
Cone, Green, all of them.
Yeah, Colquitt, let's see where they fall on that list of 94. Colquitt is rated at a 5 and 6, and so it's in a little better condition than the ones that I've presented to you here. And I'll reiterate if or I'll do it for the first time if I failed, but I was trying to make things fit within these numbers here, and so Hollis Street, we probably can get that one on there. Let me run these numbers tighter. And Hollis Street was and that's what's difficult about some of these. Mayor Robinson will remember on one of our ride-alongs, you remember you mentioned in a particular neighborhood that I won't mention, you mentioned that, Hollis Street is probably listed a 6 because it's not on this 4 and 5 list. Yes, it is. Yes, and that's a good point. But the mayor, you mentioned in a particular area where we're in back last year that a lot of these streets could be paved, and I said yes, ma'am. We could pick, and Mr. Adams and I had this same conversation. There are some subdivisions we could pick the entire subdivision and just do every street, and we'd probably spend $700,000 just in one neighborhood, and we wouldn't get anything else done anywhere.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons, that's the benefit of the AECOM study that you mentioned, and they put together this list of all of our streets.
Right.
That helped us to kind of put them in a good perspective, and I'm trying to update those. So some of those that were rated a 5 back when the AECOM did it, I have advanced those to a 4. So that's one reason that list has expanded.
And just trying to be fair and equitable based on need.
Yes, that and trying to get those streets that, in my guesstimation, we have less than 24 months to do something with.
Yeah, they're deteriorated to that point.
Because once they start peeling apart, they're a major problem.
Yes, sir.
Madam Mayor, if you need another list of an entire development or entire subdivision that needs to be paved, if you all concur, then I have one, and I'm sure most of us in our wards have
Probably
one.
have 3 of those.
That we could come up with an entire development, and I have constituents that have requested, well, why can't we? Why can't you just do all the streets while you're there? And so Mr. Roberts and I did a ride along this week to try to address that situation. And I just don't, that, even though I would like to see us be able to do that, what does that do to the balance of the community when we do that?
Yeah, you have to try to spread out the wealth. Councilman Davis?
Mr. Robert, can you get me either Wednesday or Thursday? And we look at it.
I can on Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm available to Mr. Davis.
You know where I hang out at.
I'll text you and we'll see what's best for you, and I'll make it work on my end.
All right.
I might even let you buy me lunch.
I can do that.
Council, Mayor Pro Tem, did you have any?
I just say, I'm fine with only one street on there, only because, as Mr. Roberts pointed out, we did do a substantial portion of Arbor Station in the last year or two. So I'm pretty happy with the condition of the roads over there now. But you do have the one street, though, the Whitetail, that was brought up by a number of residents, and they had some issues with having walked it. I can say, it definitely could use a good repaving.
And that one falls within
Circle.
that 24 months or less, having to start patching on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other? I didn't mean to leave anyone out. Councilmember Miller? No comments. Councilman Watts? I didn't call you last because you're just like the alphabet or something, I think. Okay. W comes in. Yes, City Manager.
I was just going to ask if everybody could get with Mr. Roberts between now and your next council meeting so we can come with one final recommendation for you to vote on.
And the options are the three that we have listed here.
We'd like to present one, so you're not having to vote between three. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And to the point of Ms. Hampton, this would really just give you some scenarios and look at some costs on some streets. These three lists do not vary that much.
Right.
Most of the streets appear on all three, with the exception of a couple.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Roberts. We appreciate you.
If I could update you on one other thing.
Oh, yes, please.
So on
Yeah,
the
mic.
GDOT information that we had talked about a couple weeks ago, where GDOT said they were wanting to do the traffic shift at on New Fairburn Road or New 92 at Hospital Drive. They've put that off now. It's probably going to happen in January. We really didn't. We didn't really want it to happen before or during the middle of the holidays anyway, and so I do not expect that they'll come back with that request. And part of it has to do with they ran into some rock on some of the traffic signals on that new section, and so they're going to have to deal with that, and that's going to give them a significant delay. And so right now it looks like it'll be January or later.
Brother.
Famous last words of every construction project in Douglasville. We ran into some rock.
Hey, we should be the Rock City.
And they're C.W. Matthews, they are doing some work on Hospital Drive, though, aren't they?
Yes, in fact, they were paving that new section today.
Fairburn.
Yes, at between Fairburn and the new road, right there at the drugstore.
Yes,
what
sir.
is that?
CVS.
And so they've still got a lot of work to do at those intersections, though. And that project is going to continue to make changes on a daily and weekly basis, but hopefully this traffic shift does not come back up until after the first of the year.
Sounds good. Any other comments? Yes, sir. Councilman Adams?
I just wanted to make sure, how do we go about deciding this, City Manager?
Based on the feedback that you all provide to Mr. Roberts, he's going to come with one final list for you all to vote on in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I don't have the information in front of me. Maybe the city manager does. We got a memo that there's going to be some filming downtown this week. Is that correct?
Ms. Jackson, is she still here? She is our filming. Do you know Major Davidson? Yes, you're her backup.
I do. The filming is tomorrow and Wednesday, and it's from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Church Street, down towards Fairburn Road.
Are there going to be street closures for that?
Yes.
Okay.
There'll be Church Street will be closed, and I think part of James, and there'll be signage for that.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to make sure for anybody who's listening, they know that there are going to be some closures in the next couple of days, and so be aware of that.
Yes, sir. Are signs out, Major Davison?
I don't know if they're up at this point. I do know that all the businesses have been contacted and are aware of it, and they've made arrangements so that each business can still have access.
Just as a caution, going over the tracks, like at Mitchell's, you know, that's a cut through to Church Street from Dallas Highway. Just beware, people will probably try and make a left turn on Dallas Highway, on 78, if they're not going down Church Street. Just a heads up.
Is there a sign there?
It's a sign there, but
Yeah.
people will do, I see them do it all the time, but being that you can't go Church Street,
Mhm.
they'll try and make that left turn. So just a heads up.
Be very cognizant of that. Hopefully people will be safe. Thank you so much. Any other comments?
Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I
Councilman Watts.
just now reading this email about the Parks and Rec receiving the CAPRA accreditation
Oh,
after 2 years, and I just thought that was pretty cool. Mr. Lander's not here, so maybe the next council meeting we make sure he's here and we with the hardware and we can recognize
Yes.
him then. But anyway, just want to let the council know just in case you missed it.
that is so exciting.
That
A lot of hard work. We're very proud of our Parks and Recreation Department and Mr. Landrum doing a wonderful job. Any other comments? Okay. Well, comments from citizens and delegates, we move to that portion of the agenda. And if we have anyone that has sustained the meeting would like to address us, please come forward to give your name and address for the record. And you have 5 minutes to say what any business germane to city council or potential business. No? Okay. Well, not seeing any comments, then this meeting is adjourned. Mr. Roberts.